Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another YouTube video. From the title, you can tell we're doing little boys' hair today. So for all my mamas out there who have sons with long hair, this video is just for you. All right, getting into the video. You know what's so crazy is my clients with this hair color and lighter, it always looks like their hair is dry, but I promised guys, like I washed his hair and it was damp in this video. So what I did blow dry the one side first, but what you see me do is I take sections around that size, I detangle them from the tip to root because it is curly hair. You know, we got to be careful with our babies to not break it. And then I go in with my Kiss handless blow dryer and I straighten it out. This is what it looks like once we got it all pressed out. Shrinkage is real because when he came in, you would never know he had a whole ponytail up here. My friend here does have an all-around edge. If your son does not have this, you can just fast forward and skip this part till we get to the juicy braids. But if your son or child or boy has an edge, I recommend watching this part. But his hair edge is already established, which is why you see me going in first with the haircut and then the braids. I'm, a lot more experienced with this. It's always recommended that you braid first and then do the edge. But like I said, his is already established and it's a drastic establishment. So I started with the edge up first. But what I did first was I took my cutting comb and I combed everything that was going to be cut down just to separate it. And then I am going in with my number one guard closed. And I'm going with the hair growth. And I'm just taking down the bulk as much as possible. This part, my friend here, he has a lighter hairline. So what I did was first I hairsprayed the hairline just to make sure everything's set and it's not moving when I try to edge it. And then I used a little bit of fibers or hair color just to kind of see or add a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Just add a little bit of a color buffer. So when I am doing this part right here, I can see the hair. Because sometimes when the hair is blonde like his is, it's very hard to tell what you're doing. So I did wipe it off later, but this is roughly generally how I do it. So going back on what I said, I, took everything down with the one guard closed. And then I am hairspraying the edge and I am lining up in this method. I know some people come for me how I do kids' edges sometimes. I try to keep it as natural as possible just because kids play and get rough and stuff like this. So I don't want to do anything super sharp and super clean that's going to be, or not super sharp and super clean, something that's just going to be super drastic for kids. Kids, you have to be careful with their hairline. This is a delicate age and stage for them. So any pushbacks can result in it's not going to grow back later, right? So we want to keep this as close and natural as possible. So with his edge, I know you guys saw in the back how it was a little bit lighter in some places. I go up to where it starts to get dark, and that's where I create my little loop-de-loop. So this is what it looks like when we are done with the edge. Today my friend got plaits, so this was very easy to transition into. Plaits I feel like are pretty self-explanatory, but just for those who may not be familiar with plaits or box braids, as what people call them as well, what I do first is I section out however big my section is. I feel like these are medium large sizes, which is roughly about 6 rows, which I feel like is a good size for most people. These last pretty long. It's not too tedious to take out, and they look nice. And then, the braid density itself, it's good and clean. So what I did first, I pre-sectioned out my row. I applied gel to the part, and then I went in now, what you see me doing, with the parting piece of my comb, and I'm cleaning up that line, just making sure that it is a straight line all throughout the head. Then I pre-sectioned each braid just to make sure all the braids were consistent and congruent. And then I applied more gel to each little piece section, make sure everything's clean. And then I begin my braids. Yeah. This is important too, guys. Like if your hair is textured, my friend here, he doesn't have I believe he has 4B or 4A hair texture. So it's tight, but it's not the tightest. But you just want to make sure you're properly basing and smoothing out each hair as you go, just to make sure that the braid is flush and flat from start to finish. and then you just braid it as far down as you can and tie it off with a rubber band. And I am going to do this process again because I know it is a little bit sped up. So like I said right here, we apply a little bit more gel just to make sure that the hair is completely smooth. And then I take my comb. I know some braiders don't do this, but I do, just to make sure. It is an extra step. You know, it does take a little bit longer, but it just ensures that the part is very, very flat and smooth. So I just like to smooth everything out. Like right here, you see me grab my comb and re-smooth that piece out. Necessary just to make sure that that whole little square right there, every single strand of hair is where it's exactly supposed to be. And then braid the plait all the way down with the same tension from root to tip. And you just repeat this process all the way until you get to the top. When I finished braiding his hair, I did not apply any mousse. Lately I've been getting off of that because there's alcohol in some of them. But this is what it looks like when we are finished. Don't mind his face. He liked them, you know, just kids. They just don't like to sit in the chair for a while. So from start to finish, the style took about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And that's with washing, blow drying, edging, and hair cutting. Braiding. As always, I love and appreciate you guys. And until the next video, bye.